right, what's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a VGC video podcast where we go over what's been making waves in the VGC scene. Today, I am joined by my co-host, Adi.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tub Takes. Once again, we had another regional, and once again, we have, I think, a two-time regional champion now. Is that right? Three-time?
3 times actually. One was pre-switch era, so I don't know if you want to count that. It was a 40 people regional.
Oh my gosh.
I have
Yep.
a trophy, so technically 3, but more technically 2.
40 people. Oh man. What format was it?
2016.
16. Okay, sure. Everyone's favorite. People loved that one. Anyways, we have Sanvi joining us off a win in the Polish regional Gdansk. How you doing?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Thank you. Hi, let's pop in Tab Nation. My name is Sanvi, aka Simone Sanvito, and I'm glad to be here today.
Yeah, I have to make the joke because you do not look anything like the guy that I was expecting to get on the show. Are you his brother? Are you an imposter? Or what happened?
That guy is Chapacross, fun fact.
Of course. What is up with you? Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just making a dumb joke. Go ahead.
Well, pretty much another dumb joke is just like, what is up with you and Chapa winning regionals like so close together? This time, different teams at least. Last time it was the same, right?
Yeah, beats me. I have no idea. VGC screenwriter, something.
Yeah, 100%. And then also joining us today, no Cam, but we do have Fede Campo here. Fede, how you doing?
Oh,
He just said...
I'm back. Okay, yeah.
He's
in case, okay. I just hope to not drop my connection again, because I just dropped the... I thought you were already on stream and you were like calling me while I couldn't hear. Likely it was not like that, but yeah, I'm there. I hope it keeps working.
All right. If there's anything, I'll try to keep up with the Discord chat as well. But yeah, you managed to make it to top 8, right? Top.
Yeah.
Yes, 8. Top 8. Nice. Yeah, at this point, I don't know how many top 8s you've got. You've been such a consistent and strong player. So I'm sure it feels good to make it that far, but I'm sure you also would have loved to have gone farther, right?
Yeah, I won that regional last year, so my goal for that regional was just to defend my title from last year. So I'm happy about my consistency because I top cut both regionals in 1 week and went from like no CPs to 9s in Europe in 1 week. But I at this point I just know I have the chance to win the events I attend, so I will just always aim to just winning events. And I know it's impossible to win the most events you attend. It's, of course, you will always win a small part of them. But I just feel like if I don't win, I not feel satisfied at all, usually, at this point.
All or nothing. I guess I kind of get it. But I still think this is a excellent finish, especially after, not like you said, you won this one last year, and back-to-back top cuts a week apart with different teams, notably. You didn't run this team at Lille. I was blanking on the name on Lille. We'll definitely get into that when we break down the results of the tournaments. But let's go ahead and finish the intro and get through our first couple of topics before we fully dive into these tournaments results. And so with that, if you are here now watching this, but you'd actually rather watch it on YouTube, this will be uploaded on YouTube tomorrow on Adi's YouTube channel, CK49. And if you have any questions for our guests, definitely leave them in the Twitch chat. We'll be reading them along as we go along. Yeah, I think the first topic today was the announcement of a new regional. I can't imagine anybody here is going to this one. Anybody got plans on traveling to Sydney for their regional?
I think I'll skip that one.
Okay. But only because you got the World's invite already locked up, right?
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't. I don't. Sorry. Otherwise, yeah, I think I might have needed those CPs, especially because Reg F is coming back, and I wasn't good in that format, so I might need every CPs I could get, all the
Yeah,
CPs I could get. So
I am excited though that they're getting another regional added. I think that's I mean the calendar should show me, but is that 4 now?
That should be 4. That should be their 4th. And that is notably the week before the European Internets, I believe. And so that's going to. I did look into it because I am planning on going to EUIC. I was like, I wonder if I can go to Sydney and then directly to EUIC and make a trip out of it. No, it turns out it's actually just on the literal opposite side of the world from London. So it's like a 30-hour flight to get from Sydney to London. So not going to be in the cards. I think it's actually a pretty poor timing for it because a lot of
Yeah.
people are going to want to go to International the next week.
Yeah, I was gonna say that does sound pretty unfortunate for the local players that were planning on doing both, especially those with like, travel awards or anything like that. Like they are not gonna be able to get like leaving any earlier than, I don't know, Sunday. And if they wanted to leave like you're either, traveling to Sydney and then directly there, which is a very long trip, or, flying home only to be flying again a couple of days later. So definitely some awkward timing there. But yeah, I actually was expecting nobody to say that there was even a chance of them going. So that's pretty funny that you said that. I was like, oh, sure.
Every time they announce an event, I always look into it. I always have to check.
I was at Sydney when they had internets there. And it was fun. I liked Sydney. It's very cool. Fede, Sanvi, have you guys been to Sydney before?
yeah, I've been also for internats in just
Right.
once in 2018, and it was beautiful there. I wish to come
Yeah.
back sometime.
I
Right.
only went to Melbourne because the only time I went to Australia was also for OCAC,
Right.
but it was in 2020 and it was in Melbourne, so I've never been in that city.
Yeah, I mean, in general, Australia is really cool. So, it is a little unfortunate we don't have that Oceania internets to bring out more foreign competitors. Actually, we'll be talking about foreign competitors definitely when we get to breaking down that regional. So, anyways, the next topic is the Grand Challenge, Grand Challenge 3. This is the third one that still does not include non-TPCI regions, championship point earning regions. And they're still nerfed from what they were previously, so they're like 75 points for first, but divided up by region. And remind me, Fede, did you already have a strong GC finish this season, or am I thinking of last season?
You were thinking of last season because like my first 2 GCs this season have been terrible.
No.
Last year I won 2. Last
Right.
GC I was at 780 with the second place and 13 remaining games. And as always, like I never stop until I see the number 1 on my screen. And usually the last times I tried to do that, it ended up on a win. This time it ended up in dropping 100 points, and I closed my GC at like less than 700. So my last 13 games have been terrible. So my 2 GC finishes this time are like, I don't know how actually they are in terms of placement, but I got 5 CPs from one and 7 CPs from the other one. So very bad.
Got you. I got you. Well, I guess, are you planning on playing in this one then?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
I definitely want to win one, and even if they don't really matter that much in terms of point this time. Right now, I have like same amount of points as the 8th seat in Europe, and I'm like 15 points below Marco with the 7th. And so like a decent finish in this GC could give me like 2 or 3 more places in the European standing. So it might be important.
Nice. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Travel awards and stuff. Yeah, you did just come into a lot of championship points, so you're definitely competitive for that. I feel like we might see a bit of a opposite answer here from Sanvi. Sanvi, are you planning on playing the GC?
Yeah, I am. In
You
fact.
are.
Yeah, even though I'm already qualified for Worlds, you you want every CPs you can get.
Sure.
I'm not playing for travel awards to
Oh, okay.
internationals because Gdansk was my first regional this season. I'm doing another regional at the end of the month in Stuttgart. Yeah,
Hmm.
at the end of the month. But I don't think it's very likely, honestly speaking, that I can compete for travel awards and all that. But finishing in top 16 by the end of the season to just get that world's travel award is yeah helpful.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
want you want every recipes you can get, and this might be a hot take, but I love playing in GCs.
No, that's awesome to hear.
That's one.
Honestly, it sounds like a lot of the European players like to actually play for the competition of it, playing all 45 games. And you kind of share that opinion as well.
Yeah, I almost always play all 45 games in the GCs. I just love competing, even if it's for quote unquote nothing,
Hmm.
because I already have my invite. 50 championship points from like top 8 can help, but likely
Hmm.
won't make any difference. I just want to do well in every tournament I play in. And
Hmm.
if I get cheesed by best of one strats, at least I can make a good laugh out of it and keep going. I will crash out, but I need to take my public image.
Yeah, yeah. It'll always make for a good story if you lose to some really stupid shit. That I had some really good ones back in Reg G. Oh man, Reg G. I think there's some really dumb ones. Sorry, there was a question in the chat that I was a little confused by. It says, I have a question for the online competitions. Did it show all of them, in including the global challenges or just the grand challenges? I don't think we know like the dates. We don't even know the dates of the fourth grand challenge, though we expect there to be a fourth grand challenge probably. So
Mhm.
I think we're still waiting in advance. I mean, the next topic actually is gonna, or no, I saved that for the end, but I'll spoil it a little bit. But we learned Regulation F is going until March 31st, which means that I don't think we can expect like Japan to start their season after that point. You know, they might end up playing some of their online global challenges in Scarlet and Violet, if not all of them. It's really hard to say. I mean, a lot of question marks with the Regulation F announcement. It's probably the juiciest bit of news. That's why I put it at the end, though. So we'll definitely dive into that later. Adi, did you have something to say?
We do know that there are grand challenge scheduled for January and May. We don't know when the global challenges are scheduled. We don't know the exact dates. Um,
Got it.
but yeah, I think that the global challenges always are the ones where Japan plays, the ones that use qualifies for Japan nationals, and you can try to put two and two together with the release date of Pokemon Champions and the end of regulation, the new regulation. What is it? F.
F.
And also the January to May dates, right? Because usually the May Grand Challenge is the one that's after all of the global challenges. So I don't know. I feel like it it wouldn't be surprised if Champions released earlier. And that they just didn't want to reveal the Champions date on this little announcement here.
Mm-hmm.
And actually we start a little earlier, and then you can maybe fit the three global challenges in before May of 2026. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Japan had at least one of their qualifier tournaments on Scarlet and Violet. Or honestly, it did say that some regions will not be playing on Champions. It would be really sad, but the way the TPC works sometimes, I would hope that some Asian qualifiers, hopefully not Japan qualifiers, are played on Scarlet and Violet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That might end up happening, which yeah, would just be such a bummer. But I don't know. Every day that goes by that we don't know when Champions comes out, it becomes less and less likely that we'll be playing it on whatever tournament you're thinking about coming up. You know, like I was coping for Seattle for the longest time, and that one just got confirmed for Reg F as well. So how fun.
Yeah. That being said, the first tournament, I believe, if Champions does come out, on that March 1st date is Orlando, right?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
keep that in mind if you are thinking about what tournaments to go to. If you have to book things in advance without knowing what game you're going to be playing, when you're at the tournament. That is something to consider.
Right. All right, so let's go ahead and well, I guess, is there anything else to say about the online grand challenge this coming weekend? I don't know if there is. Yeah, I guess good luck to everybody competing this weekend, and let's go ahead and break down Brisbane. So Brisbane ended up concluding just a little bit before Gdansk this weekend, just because of time zones and stuff, and so ended up being a win for Kaito Ari, I believe is how you say it, but that's Yubi Slow, a very strong Japanese player, and I believe he said that it was his first time leaving Japan, maybe, just in general. He or maybe at least to like go overseas and play Pokemon. Was thanking a lot of friends for helping with that and stuff. So I believe so. And notably, Yubi Slow, one of those strongest players, did unfortunately whiff a Worlds qualification the past, I think, 2 seasons. And now with this win has locked up a invite to the World Championships and was very excited about that, of course, as you can imagine.
Yeah, I think you see a lot of Japanese players traveling outside of Japan this season. For example, Ubislow, but also Shohei Zin came to Frankfurt at the beginning of the Regulation H season,
Right.
which is it's obviously very good because we don't get a lot of. I mean, we as in TPCI regions, so we don't get a lot of chances to play versus Japanese players in the real life. So I think them traveling outside of Japan to compete in the regionals and whatnot is a way to cheat quote unquote their invite because gambling your invite in a best of one ladder tournament. A lot of good players will miss on that as you said the Ubislow missed his last season and obviously he's a very good player and yeah, it's good that he got his invite
I know it's
already.
not. It's 100% earned. You know, like the invite is only to first. Somebody pointed it out in the chat. This is actually the second invite stolen this season. But like that is I forgot that like it was Pengy, right, who went down into Mexico and I guess got a invite there. But yeah, that's 2 invites from out of region. We haven't had a international yet. That will also start to shake up the numbers a little bit because those ones, you know, it's not exactly 4 invites guaranteed to Latin America. We'll have to see how that tournament actually shakes out. But it's kind of fun to see, and it's really cool to see Japan actually do it successfully this season. I don't know if any Japanese players. I think maybe were there 2 from internets.
There was NAIC and EUIC both had one.
One in each, right? One each.
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess this is the first Japanese player to lock up a TPCI invite this season, but you know, they might not be the last. We might even see more at internets. And yeah, somebody was saying in the chat maybe some players at Vegas too. I mean, that's cool. What were you saying, Ani?
Yep. I think last week I sent you a list of some of the Umbra players and where they were going, and they're going all over the place. I think a bunch of them were coming to Vegas. But yeah, I think honestly, first off, really glad this event was streamed because we get to see these Japanese players in action and you know some really high quality Pokemon when people are coming in from all over Asia essentially, and it is makes me really sad that Oceania Internet doesn't happen because it would be so competitive now that Japan is traveling more. It makes a lot of sense because they've increased the prize money. And now that you have, I mean, I just checked, I have it pulled up. Tokyo to Sydney on the weekend of Sydney regionals is like a $700 round trip. Like if you think you can get top 16, and you know, some of the players like UB Slow, I'd be surprised if they didn't make top 16 at a tournament like this. It's certainly like 50-50 at the very least. Like it's not the worst bet to bet on yourself and make the flight out to Australia when they don't have any big money tournaments like this in Japan. Even
Mhm.
including Japan Nationals, I believe, doesn't even give prize money, right? So there is nothing like this in Japan. This is the biggest tournament of the year, other than Worlds for them, in terms of prize money. So why not go? Why not try to win?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Japan International only gives the travel awards for awards,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
that's the only money prize it gives. So it's like not too much money, and only for the first 8 places, I think. So it's interesting that they are going to Australia. I don't know if what the Australian players think about that. Like they are getting farmed by the Japanese players, and this probably will never stop. So um, I don't know if this could be a good thing or not for them, because the most Japanese players win in Australian regionals the lower amount of additional invites they have. So probably Australians are a bit disappointed because of that, I guess.
Yeah, I can't really speak as an Australian player, so if they're sour about this, I can kind of understand it, but at the same time my unforgiving advice is to, like, just get good. Sadly, like, if you want to get that auto invite for yourself or for your region, you should beat all the players at the tournament to do it. That's usually the best way to do that. You have to be able to beat anybody, if Marco Fierro comes to Toronto and beats a bunch of American players, like, they can't really be mad at him for betting on himself and coming over here and saying, I can win this whole thing. I'm going to take the prize money. I'm going to take, maybe the auto invite if I win the whole thing. Like, there's just nothing wrong with that. That's just players are allowed to compete in whatever tournament they find themselves at, and you have to beat anybody that stands in your way.
100% agree. No
And
dice.
Japan did very well. Did do very well here. In fact, double Japan finals here. YT Yuyatada ended up getting second, and I guess it's confusing me because Suika is playing in the Australian circuit, listed as Japan, but technically within region. And then it looks like one Japanese player ended up finishing it only in day one at a 5-3 record. But yeah, I guess we didn't talk a lot about the team specifically. So this team isn't anything brand new. We actually looked at it a couple weeks back after it won a Victory Road tournament, and plenty of tournaments before that we've seen stuff like this, if not exactly this. The one standout part of this team is that the Golden Go is carrying an Aguave berry. Um, and is running a lot of bulk, a very bulky Golden Go. Everything else is just very standard, and this is probably one of the, like, top 5 teams to be prepping for in the current metagame, I would say. It's just very well rounded, Instant Amoongus, P2, Ursa. Like you just have a lot of things to rely on, whether it's like supporting their Saluna, supporting the Golden Go, Kilowattrel, very good for anti-intimidate. It's just a solid set of bulky Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a strong team. You have a lot of options with this. Every time I feel like when playing versus this team, starting from team preview, they're threatening a billion different things, and you have to be ready for all of them. You kinda want to lead Insane, for example, into this team because Intimidate is amazing versus Ursaluna. Usually Insane has goggles, so it's good into Among Us. Insane is naturally good into Golden Go, but you can't do that because there's a Kilowattrel. But maybe they
Mm-hmm.
won't bring it or won't lead it because Kilowattrel is not the most spammable Pokemon of this team. Sometimes it gets just stat checked. And maybe you can take that gamble. And if you lead Incineroar leads, my point being, Incineroar leads well into everything this team has, besides the anti-intimidate Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a lot of options to cover. They can click speed control, move Weather Tailwind or Trick Room, swap on their Ursaluna, and you may not be expecting it. Gold,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is a very good team.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Um, Yeah, it's very diverse. Like you said, the Ursaluna being supported by Trick Room or Tailwind. You sometimes have to guess which one you have to be ready for going into team preview, and that can make it a little bit hard starting immediately on the back foot if you prepare for the wrong one. And
Yeah, it's
go ahead.
this team is also very customizable in the sets. For example, Aguavberry Golden Go, we've never seen it before. Usually it's always Life Orb in this team. It's always like timid max speed Life Orb. You can change it. Every Golden Go can every Golden Go variant can work too. It can be, if you don't want to use Life Orb, you can be like Metal Coat with some bulk, or I
Right.
guess a Wafberry. Insane can be AV, Goggles. Among Us, I guess there's only one set you can run Sludge Bomb, I think, but this team gets a lot of
I
value
think
out of
Covert
Pollen
Cloak
Puff.
sometimes as well.
Oh yeah, they can
Sometimes.
run cloak or Rocky helmet. It's still an item after all.
Yeah.
The Porygon can be any type of Terra Blast, and also
Sure.
sometimes they drop Ice Beam. For example, Nils Dunlop
Yeah.
use this team with Shadow Ball instead of Ice Beam. Shadow Ball obviously to deal with Golden Go better.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think I've seen Terra Fairy
Yeah,
Blast on a
and,
version of
and he
this as
was
well.
also
Go ahead, Fede.
using the cover cloak on Among Us on the Nils version.
Oh,
He
yep.
just
There we
mentioned
go.
it before.
Yep. There it
Um,
is.
and he also Electro Web on Kilowatt.
Yes, yes. I guess that is another variation. Yeah, it definitely it's cool to give that extra bit of speed control if you're playing against another Tailwind team, or um, if Ursaluna's just still not faster than something, then yeah, the that extra speed control can come in handy. Where are we?
I really like the eWeb there because you can maybe run a slower variant of Ursaluna, which means more functional in Trick Room and with more bulk because you're not EVing your Ursaluna to outspeed stuff in Tailwind, but maybe you're EVing to outspeed the stuff in Tailwind at -1. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how like practical that is, but
Right.
um,
I
but
think
maybe yeah,
maybe
go
one of
ahead.
the main uses of the eWeb is together with Golden Go, you can kill 90 focus sash 90s without doing nothing. You can just break the
That's
sash with
cool.
eWeb and make Golden Go faster. It's
Yeah,
probably one
also
of the main
also
uses.
that, yeah.
That is a cool
And I
line.
guess
I
that's
definitely.
also why it probably pairs better with the Life Orb Golden Go that is in the Nils version. I don't really see too well eWeb combined with the Agua Berry Golden Go.
You can do that against a Charizard, I guess, but probably not if they have like Sun Up or a Torkoal or something, or sorry, a Jumpluff next to it or something. It probably won't end up working out because of Covert Cloak Jumpluff. But there's some Pokemon, I guess. Typhlosion, sure. Um. Anyways, all right. So the next team here, from Yuya, was also slightly different, and yeah, it's kind of not exactly like anything we've seen directly. It's like a blend of some of the rain teams. We've seen the Elizabeth rain teams run Archaludon, Pelipper, and Sinistra. We've seen a lot of the standard rain teams. Actually, Fede, remind me, in Lille, did you have these four, or did you not have those four? With like
Yeah, I
Ensign?
had them. But my other two slots instead of Farigiraf and Blood Moon were the other Ursaluna and Incineroar.
Right, right. Yeah. And so those two definitely make it stand out. Like these two are not playing quite like the other rain teams, and Life Orb Blood Moon just very good, supported by dual speed control. This one has Tailwind from Pelipper or Trick Room from either of the two Pokemon down here. And then this is probably just to deal with teams like Lele's or Sandvies with just double fake out, hitting you every other turn. Armor Tail, kind of nice for shutting all that down. And Mental Herb can help you set Trick Room in front of Taunt Incineroars and Taunt Annihilates, I guess. That's probably the most common Taunt Pokemon. Electabuzz sometimes. So that's neat.
Yeah, I think Bareg is gonna have a moment right now. I really do. I think that when so many teams are just throwing double fake out plus yawn on their team, just like it just even on teams that aren't the same Lele team, we started seeing more and more of that. It just feels like the natural response, and it does feel like um, it makes a lot of sense when that's the most common game plan. It supports a lot of your Pokemon here, where something like Basket Legion really just want to deal with sucker punches and grassy glides, and so it really appreciates that for Rigoraph. We've definitely seen this combo in formats past, and so yeah, I think this is a cool innovation on otherwise pretty standard team. And like everyone's always freaking out about the new team on the block, but like Rain is never going anywhere, and it's still
Right.
I think the dominant threat in this format.
We
Yeah,
go ahead, Sammy.
I too think Rain is always very, very good. Now it seems like Rain is underperforming a bit from Regulation H Part 1. Rain is not putting up the same results as it was doing. But yeah, you always need to respect Rain. And speaking of Giraffe, I think I always thought it was a slightly underexplored Pokemon in this format because a lot of teams are and were double fake out, and it has a very good typing into a lot of stuff. And for example, into Niliape, it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also one of those Pokemon that you can tech a Terra Blast for any particular matchup you might need, because Terra Blast in base is still stabbed, and we've seen a lot of some sets with Giraffe. The main one I think that's been popping out is the Drought Spray one with Hyper Voice and
Right.
Psychic and like Recruitment Product. I got the last two, and that set is very annoying for some teams to deal with, I feel like. And also,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Arbor Tail can support a lot of offensive threats, for example, Basculegion here, but also in different teams it can support, for example, a Typhlosion that doesn't have to fear like Sucker Punch yeah, or I guess only Sucker Punch or Fake Outs once you
And then
threat.
Grassy Glide into Basket
Uh,
Legion too. That's another
yeah,
thing you can
Grass
shut
Glides
down.
into Basculegion.
Mm-hmm.
Priority is not that oppressive or that present, rather in this format, but a lot of Pokemons and a lot of teams utilize priority in some way, shape, or form in their game plans. For example, in the Lele team, you see double fake out for an round, or King Gambit's team, if you deny their sucker punch, that's core part of their game plan being cut out. So I think
Right.
Arbor Tail is a broken ability, and also Giraffe as you can run Psychic Noise, for example, on Giraffe. That way, a Nidhip can touch you because you
Mm-hmm.
deny the Drain Punch, and you being a normal type means you're immune to Rage Fist. Wind Beam is another cool option to deal with such Sneasler, and also, yeah, Psychic is a slightly better offensive typing because of Sneasler in this form.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And having that stab on it too. Feels like hitting fighting types is important. So, whether it's Annihilate or um, Sneasler or the rare like Flamigo or whatever. Um, but yeah, this team it doesn't seem like one that I expect to like catch on crazy or anything like that. But maybe people will take some of the ideas from it, whether it's trying out Fari on a rain team or just trying out more Fari in general, because it's seeing success. Let's see. Nick Khan just using the standard Zine team, the standard Lele team, the same team again from Suika. I think Suika ran a slightly different version with like the Life Orb, yeah.
Mhm.
Terra Fairy though. Let's see.
Both
Um,
Ursalunas were Terra Fairy, no?
but yeah, they both were, yes. Um, and so I mean, it turns out that UB Slow was the player who hit rank 1 on ladder. I think I played them on stream last week. And I had no idea who exactly it was. They stomped me. I was using some stupid wheezing team, and I was like, "This is
Yeah,
who
I
is this
saw
strong player?"
that.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for using my stream VODs to scout. ladder. I mean that's what they're for. Anyways, this is the team you were talking about, Sanvi, earlier with Giraffe. That's also doing well right now. Looks like it's more than just a flash in the pan that Brian Collins did well with this one. It's seeing some decent success in other tournaments. I don't actually know if it did well in Gdansk. I wouldn't be surprised. Looks like I don't see it at that deep. Okay.
No, I didn't see. I didn't see anywhere. That's the new Art Trick Room team. That's the
Right.
way they're going right now.
Top 32. Okay. Yep. Yeah, that team, you definitely got to be ready for it right now. I think the thing that really separates this from previous Hard Trick Room teams is just that Ensign, notably, and paired with the Fari too. But Ensign having close combat is actually pretty cool. It just it helps the coverage of Psi Spam a lot. You know, if you want to be clicking Expanding Force, well, you can't hit steals and you can't hit dark types, and close combat is just going to be the best pair for that. Usually you see that with like Indeed Email plus Sneasler to do it really fast. This is just kind of like the Trick Room version of that. Ensign's not going to hit as hard as a Sneasler without Terra Fighting, but I mean, if you Terra Fighting, I guess it's about as hard. That's pretty funny. Yeah. So yeah, let's see other teams that stand out from this one. I'm trying to double check here. Kingdra's kind of funny. Serena, you know, if we were talking about Armor Tail being good, maybe it's time for Queenly Majesty. I don't actually know if I 100% agree with it, but it's funny. It's got good coverage.
Queenly Majesty is the faster version of Armor Tail. If you don't want, because usually Giraffe implies using Trick Room. Queenly Majesty is for more fast-paced team. Also in the rain, it makes more sense because you add a grass type, which is good both defensively and offensively for your water types. Also, fun fact: you can in rain you can run Barraskewda, which outspeeds all the unburdened Sneasler. And with Queenly Majesty, that's a very good support for Barraskewda.
Sounds like if you need a GC idea, you can run Barraskewda plus Serena. Your opponent's not going to know what hit him. Oh, man.
Yeah, I do think it's cool that we see a little more Kingdra. Obviously, we'll really put Kingdra on the map on a parish team at the end of Reg H. But now, not only do we see it here doing really well on a team that I still don't really fully understand, honestly, but also I know that in Europe, every single regional they put the Kingdra guy on stream too.
Jacob, yep.
And so yeah. So yeah, it's cool to see that Kingdra is seeing some play and people are experimenting with it, even though it's obviously not the primary rain abuser, that being Basket Legion. But yeah, this team, I feel like this team is so rigid because it's got Ursulina P2 Ensign as one like mode, and then Pelipper Kingdra Serena as one mode, and then you got to pick one that kind of crosses over, and it feels a little awkward. But I don't know. It's got it obviously did really well. It went 10-2 at the tournament, so.
Yeah, I think that's probably it for the Brisbane teams. I think there's some other probably interesting picks here and there. That's a Slow King Galler that made day 2, but that's I guess on Daniel Walker's team, and Daniel Walker I think is always running some really dumb shit. Sorry for being a little too honest, but yes, Daniel's Terra Ghost Blast. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, this guy made 8-3 at Worlds 24 with like Assault Vest Explosion, Galarian Weezing, Galarian Slow King, Baxcalibur, Smeargle, Scarf Kyogre, and I don't really remember the 6, but that's already enough.
Apparently just Slow King's biggest believer, because yeah.
Okay, the 6 was indeed.
So stupid. I mean, they think about the game
I remember
differently.
losing to him on ladder when my plane was about to take off.
So where's Diego? How did he do? Oh, here he didn't end up making it on day 1. The stupid Sap Sipper Giraffe. Played against that too many times. Nasty Plot, Terra Water Blast. It's funny.
Yeah, that's like his Giraffe. He used it in Regulation I too, I think.
I believe it. All right, let's go ahead and move on to talking about Gdansk. So, Sanvi, but I guess before we get into it, you ended up taking it all, but there was a bit of meta manipulation leading up to the tournament, and a lot of people were making good memes about it because you truly do hate this Pokemon Volcarona. How does it feel to get another regional win, but with Volcarona at your side?
What happens in the regulation age stays in the regulation age. That's my take.
So you're gonna go right back to it?
After this format ends, nah.
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant. So you're gonna go right back to hating on Volcarona
Oh
afterwards?
yeah, for sure. My most Volcarona, like the most days I was with Volcarona this wind was when I KO'd the Rillaboom that took Vudam. I was at +1, and the Rillaboom took Vudam recoil from killing my Basculegion from full, and I was surprised that that killed, and I'm not kidding. Volcar- when I was telling my friend that I was using Volcarona, they were like, obviously, why? It's so ass. And my answer was always the same. My answer to that was that Volcarona is actually okay if you don't have any expectation of from that Pokemon.
That was actually what I always used to say about Kilowattrel. Pretty much the exact same. It's just like, if you just take whatever damage you're expecting and make it 75% of that, like it's just always going to do less than you're
Yeah,
ready for.
everybody is always surprised when they learn that T-Bolt doesn't KO Basculegion from full, or it's like
Yep.
a 6.3% roll.
Yes. No, that Pokemon is incredibly weak. And Volcarona, however, Volcarona has stats. It's got stats. It's actually got like a 135 special attack stat.
Yeah,
I
it
think the
does the same special attack as Fluttermane.
mhm.
And Heatwave from Volcarona somehow does the same to Among Us as Fluttermane Moonblast.
Exactly. It's the base power, and I think probably one of the hardest things for Volcarona is its EV spread it so thin already. It wants to run a lot of bulk. It wants to run a lot of speed so that those quiver dances actually work and outspeed things at +1. And so then you're just not left with a lot of room to run offense. On top of that, Heat Wave. It's a strong move, but it's not like you're clicking um, Wave Crash or something like
Yeah,
a really
yeah,
strong single target attack.
you're not, you don't have any multipliers other
From
than
an
that.
ability.
Just
You're right.
yeah, you
You don't
don't have.
really need a lot of speeds in regulation age for the speed tires in this format. Like in
Hmm.
regulation high, you needed to run 150 at least to outspeed Calyrex and Scarf Shifu.
Right.
But in this format, you can outspeed pretty much everything with way lower speeds.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. It's just like, yeah, it just depends if you want to like do like outspeed things in Tailwind or not. Do you want to outspeed a Golden Go or not? Those are the tricky
Yeah,
parts.
the spread for Volcaron is very customizable. It's very
It is.
player dependent. You can make it faster than Golden Go in like base Volcarona, pre-QD Volcarona, or you can make it slower and more bulkier or stronger.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, it's one of those Pokemons that the EV spread is gonna be like put your favorite speed number and then put everything else in bulk because Volcarona doesn't have the greatest natural bulk physically.
Right. And the grassy
Especially
suit
it's
definitely helps with that.
yeah.
Hmm.
Also a fun factor to leave strong hits with, for example, Rage Fist or Facade. You need a lot of EVs, even with Grassy Seed.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. Um, and so I wanted to ask about how you came to this team. As far as I know, this team, it might have been around a couple weeks ago. At least I remember seeing it on Ladder. I don't know if this was you or people doing some testing in advance, or if this was something that you kind of came to last minute. How did you end up picking this team?
I just stole it from Ladder.
Nice, nice. The best players
This
do.
team was in Frankfurt from Robbie. He
Robbie.
went.
Oh,
He went. Yeah, I think there is not a lot of people that knows he's the original builder from that, but he's the first player that used that. He went 9-3 there with his team. Yeah, top 32, Robbie. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. With some edits, it seems, there's no taunt yet, no, I guess, standard electric Terra on this thing, and not Encore Disable on the Ninetales. So, I guess without, I don't know if this is too blunt, Sandview, were there any decisions that you made for the team, or did you take it exactly as it was?
I took it exactly as it was, but I did try different options. For
Okay.
example, I tried using Cover Clock on Volcarona instead of Grassy Seed, just because I thought this team, when trying this team, I thought if a Sneasler clicks Star Claw on you and you get slapped or paralyzed or poisoned, you probably just lose on the spot. So I wanted to try Cover Clock because of that, and it also has a lot of cool applications with the format, especially in Europe being double fake out. But then I took 46% from Insane Knockoff and went back immediately to Grassy Seed. And if a Sneasler is gonna ask me, then it's gonna left, sorry. If a sneezer is going to ask me, then a sneezer is going to ask me. I tried different options on Ninetales as well. When I first tried this team, I had freeze dry on it just because I wanted to try freeze dry on Ninetales. Having moves you can click in brain without worrying about accuracy. Sounds strong on Ninetales. Ninetales has a lot of very good moves it wants to run.
Right.
But in the end, I just used Anchor Disable because when I was using this, it felt so cheap. I was winning in positions that I didn't have any business winning. For example, during practice, I won versus a spec store Colin Sun, and I had no business winning that. Like
Hmm.
none other Ninetales was winning that 1v1. And also Anchor Disable is like very annoying to play against because if you click the move you don't wanna get disabled, you get anchored. If you click your good move, you get disabled. And this way it feels like Ninetales is always providing something in the game
Hmm.
if it's not getting blizzard freezes or if your opponent has a lot of ice resist. That Ninetales definitely carried me. It's amazing, for example, versus King Gambit. Fun fact, you can still lose to +2 struggle because +2 struggle does 40% on Ninetales.
Oh no. And that Blizzard is not doing anything back. Um,
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. Yeah, it looks like this team also doesn't need Icy Wind as badly as other teams. You've got Volcarona's ability to set up its own speed. Basket Legion's already running an item for speed, so like it probably would be appreciated at times, but definitely not necessary for the game plans, I would say, as it looks.
Another point of draw for me with this team, it all started as a joke between me and myself. I was the target audience for this joke, but I wanted to try Volcarona just for the fun of it. And then I kept playing, I kept winning, I couldn't stop losing, and I was like, am I really going to use Volcarona? Answer was yes, funnily enough. Um, but also Volcarona, you might think of it as an excuse, quote unquote excuse, to run different sets on other Pokemons that can make them better. For example, I feel like Anchor Disable Ninetales was amazing, and you have an extra slot in this team because you don't need Icy Wind because, as you said, Volcarona is sets up speed for itself.
Hmm.
Basque Legion doesn't really need Icy Wind. Ursaluna appreciates it, but again, it's not needed, and Instant Rillaboom don't care about Icy Wind. Also, Taunt on Nielsen is very cool in this format. Taunt is a very good move every time. I feel like,
Hmm.
and we having your fire move on Volcarona means you don't really need to run a fire move on Insane, so you can slot
Right.
Taunt, and for example, Taunt is amazing into that kilowatt Among Us team, because Taunt just straight up shuts down their Trick Room and their Among Us.
Mm-hmm.
And also you can do the usual Taunt the other Insane to
Taunt
prevent parting
yawns.
shot. That's a bit risky to do because you might hit on Earth Power, but that's always an option.
It's true. It's true. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes it's just about like getting your Volcarona set up. If they can't yawn your Volk, then you're getting the Quiver Dance off. Maybe Ensign has to pay the price.
Yeah,
Because Volcar, it can't really run away with the game.
sometimes, yeah, 25% of the time.
True. All right. Actually, I want to talk a quick bit of a metagame thing because Michael was pointing it out, and I looked it up after you mentioned that you didn't want to be weaker to Direclaw Sneasler. So I was like, what is the best finishing Direclaw Sneasler? And then I remembered immediately as I was doing it. I was like, I think that's Narret. Narret ended up finishing top 4 with just a regular old Sash Sneasler.
Yeah,
But
Poison Touch too. That's the day one set.
yeah, right. All the way back. All the way back. That team does look a little dated, but still doing well. And yeah, it turns out. Actually, I should not click Direclaw here to show that less than half of Sneaslers are running Direclaw. At least the ones that are earning championship points. It's just crazy to see how the metagame has shifted. I don't know. Maybe this is a bit of Europe hive mind. Everybody running the the acrobatics set. Acrobatics does clear Direclaw here, 20 uses versus 15, but it's crazy. Like, this was probably the most cited reason for why people didn't want to come back to Regulation H, and now most Sneaslers aren't even running it. It's so funny.
Maybe word is healing.
Right? I know. The world is well. That's coming from you, Feta. You're not innocent here at all because you're running the jump left team, and that team is also evil. Um, this let's actually jump over to talking about your team here, and I mean, I guess less so your team and more so I guess why you decided to run it, because this isn't anything new. I think you've got one tech. I think the jump left usually runs Rage Powder instead of Encore. I think you were trying that out before this, I think in an online tournament or something, but yeah, why did you end up picking this team?
So I used Rain in Lille, which was my main team in the old Reg Age. I won Gdansk 24 with Rain. And as Samvi was saying before, yeah, for some reason, Cat Explorer on Lily is glitched. It
Oh,
does
wait,
not
yeah,
show
that
any other
that
team
was
besides
completely throwing me off.
besides
Okay.
these two teams. Um,
What the...
but yeah, I used
What?
you can pick it up from Pittsburgh because it was Daniel Yu's team. The
Oh,
one I
okay.
used
Yeah, you got
in
it,
Lille,
got it.
and I just used this team, but with Terra Normal and White Guard on Pelipper
Right.
over Terra Stellar and Tailwind, and also Flare Blitz, Terra Ghost Incineroar instead of Town Terra Flying. And Meyer Chowdon was Terra Fight with the Snarl over Dragon Ball. So I had slight changes, but the team was pretty much these ones, these items, these 6. So
Right.
I think this was a good team, but I just, as Samvi said before, I felt like Rain is just doing poor in this moment in the format. And I got top 16 in Lille, but I felt like the most matchups I played were negative for me. I had some sets that I just stole with the Hurricane Confusion, and I feel like I struggled way too much to get that top 16 to use the team once again. And I felt like if I wanted to have the chance to win another tournament, I needed to drop Rain. So then I went into Sun for 2 reasons. And the first one is that I stayed home literally one day between the 2 regionals, so I had no time to practice. The practice for Gdansk has been done during the travel, and basically I was doing shit in the ladder with a lot of teams. I was just practicing a very few games with some teams until I found something that I could have performed good with. And Sun was the first team that I was doing really well with in the ladder. The other thing is that if you look at this team, Porygon 2 is Lunala. Choice Spec Charizard is Miraidon. Jumpluff is Whimsicott. Lucidia or Luna were there also on that team. And Torkoal is Adron Engine for Charizard. So that's basically my Regai team. I knew I was doing well with that.
There's like, I feel like there's other teams that look more like your Regai team than this, but you know what? Sure, I'll have to believe you. I think this looks more like Rinya's son, personally. Like, you have Torkoal, which is like the Charizard. You have Charizard, which is the Zacian. Ensign is the Grimmsnarl. P2 is the Ensign. Ursaluna is the Groudon, right? And then Jumpluff's the Groudon. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, this and you ended up going, quite deep with it. Unfortunately, losing to a bad roll in the top 8. But yeah, do you think after the tournament, do you think it was the right pick for you? Do you feel like it felt good playing it for this tournament?
Yeah, absolutely. It felt absolutely good. It's a team that I really like to play. I really like the mons in this team. I like how it works. I like the. I'm a big enjoyer of Ursaluna teams with double speed control. Basically,
right.
if you remove from my results the results I got with Ursaluna double speed control, you remove like 80% of my achievements. So I really like that. So I
Well,
always
that last Gdansk though, right? That one wasn't Ursaluna double speed control,
yeah,
right?
I was not using that. I had these tournaments and a couple of other top cuts without it. But if you like, you will basically remove me my NIC win and my worst of 4 if you remove these results. So I really like to play Ursaluna with double speed control. It's what I am the best at.
Yeah. Playing to your strengths is very important, but also I gotta say I do think it's really cool that you back to back just like pivoted teams and still got 2 top cuts. That is it's not easy to do, to be able to switch mindsets on what team you're using. So really cool to see that. What else was I gonna mention? Oh, yeah, just another thing that I wanted to mention before I forgot it is we were talking a little bit about Lille. You'll notice me typing the R key here, and the only Pokemon that starts with R that earned championship points here is Rillaboom. What happened to Ribombee? Where's the Ribombee? It didn't even earn points at this one. It's just so crazy to see such a quick turnaround.
I think sorry, Pedro, go ahead.
Not even Marco used it again, and
True.
it's probably the classic kind of thing that it's just a good one-shot call, because it's just like the team from Marco in Lille was not actually that insane. It was just a good team, a decent team, played by an insane player, and what I also felt when I managed to make deeper runs or win tournaments is that sometimes if you have a team, it does not. If you have a team that is new or against which people are not really prepped extremely well against, it's not really on how good the team actually is, but it's just on how good is the combination of being a really strong player with playing a team that has even matchups, but by having a perfect preparation in the matchups you're playing while your opponent do not have it. Like, just imagine you're facing Marco with this team. The matchup is technically even, but he has like 100 games in the matchup and you have 0. You're probably losing that.
Yes, 100%, and that is like ultimately what the payoff of trying to do something different is, to just have a information prep advantage against your opponent, and that's what a lot of people try to do when they're cooking up new teams. Now, is it a easy recipe for success? No, we still see a lot of the most boring teams, looking at you, Sanvi, win tournaments. I'm just kidding.
I always ran boring things. The most exciting thing I've done was using Dragonite in regulation I
Right.
think, and that's not an exciting thing. It's just the most exciting one I've done.
Right. Yeah, and so the cooking is it's really hard in VGC, but yeah, when you do it well, it can really pay off. So, Adi, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think that another thing that I think that Marco C might not go away nearly as much as people think. I wouldn't be shocked to see people bring it to Vegas. I think it's a really big ask to ask someone to drop whatever they're planning on using at a tournament and switch to the team that just won this previous tournament in a week. Right, that's a very quick turnaround. And the only person I think that could reasonably have done well with this team, because I don't think Dill went to this tournament, is Marco, and Marco chose not to use it. So I think that. I mean, Marco has a lot of fans, and a lot of people saw this cool Pokemon do really well. I wouldn't be shocked to see a decent number of people use it at Vegas. I've seen it a decent amount on ladder in the last week. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily write the team off. And even if people don't necessarily use this exact team, I do think he really showed the power of that Rabombi Goldango combination. And I wouldn't be surprised to see people kind of explore other routes for that as well, especially, if we run on a little longer, I think we might see more exploration for that. But I think that core is still really strong. I think it makes a lot of sense into the metagame right now.
Another team that comes to mind when I think about it is Chuppa's team. It looks like somebody did make day 2 with that. Yeah, I think this is it. But yeah, Chuppa's team also, despite taking a whole tournament, didn't end up having as long of a lasting effect as I expected. It looked like a very solid core. But in terms of teams that are sticking around still and teams that we should probably mention, I do think Juan's storyline is pretty funny. We could have had another invader get a Worlds invite this weekend. It would have been crazy to see a player from Latin America come all the way to Europe and take it all. Juan went undefeated in Swiss, 11-0, just using the Dragonite version that actually we were talking about last week with Giuseppe. Yeah, this I mean, nothing crazy to say about the team, of course. The team is as boring as it comes, but a very strong run from a player out of region. Really cool to see. Although, Feta, you were trying to cast a curse on him, right?
What? Excuse me?
With the tweet, there's always this back and forth Twitter thing with Wanfi, right? He casts curses on people. So you cursed him, I thought.
Oh yeah. Because Wanfi said that I was the number one favorite player most likely player to win Worlds. And I ended up having my worst tournament finish ever in Worlds. So after that, I just copy pasted after Wanfi went 9-0 in day 1. He was also my only loss in Swiss in the entire tournament. So I just copy pasted the tweet he used on me for Worlds and just removed the words with the Gdansk regional 25 and the regional and world champion with the regional champion and Fede with 1 feet. That's what I've done.
Yeah. It's a good bit. I like it.
Yeah, and also one other thing I was about to say when we were showing the Chappas team is that probably in this Reg H2 there's been 2 kind of wins because I will say that the way the way Marco and Chappa won have been very similar in terms of the team. They both were using new versions of Dragonite, Ursaluna, Goldengo in senior offensive teams with slots that have never been used before, like Sashback Collision and Mousehold in this kind of comps were news. And regarding Marco's team, it was Ribombi and Komoho, but they both used a strong core of 4 with 2 new slots. So it's interesting that it worked out for both of them. And basically, any tournament that has not been won by these 2 players and these 2 teams has been won by double fake out, lefties, Ursaluna, and 1 setup. So it's this is what you have to do to win in Reg H2. And I'm a bit disappointed about that, to be honest. This is not the kind of teams that I like too much. I'm curious to see if the trend will just stay exactly like that until the very end, or if maybe we are gonna see something different winning LAC or Vegas.
Right. And then you guys were talking about Stuttgart as well. You guys have, is that also regulation H?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's the last tournament for
Got
it's the very last tournament for Regulation H.
yeah, I guess
Okay.
it's
It,
the word last one.
it ends on the on the 30th. So it's on the very last day of Regulation H.
Looks like there's also one in Latin America, Buenos Aires. Is also going to be in regulation H. So actually, I don't know. I guess we're still just in the middle of regulation H. It feels like we've gone through so much already, but there's still so many tournaments to come in regulation H. So, I
Yeah,
guess.
obviously
Go ahead.
LLC is the most important tournament of the format, and also Vegas is feeling like the second most important one in
Mm-hmm,
terms
mm-hmm.
of aura at the very least. Like
Yeah.
I feel like the Vegas whoever wins Vegas is it's going to be a regional champion, not another regional champion. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Are you saying
Winning
it's gonna be a
Vegas
new
must
one,
be.
or what are you saying?
No, I'm saying in terms of clout, winning
Oh,
Vegas it's going to be different than winning just Gdansk regional, I guess.
oh, wow. We're being
No.
just dismissive of our win this weekend. I see. Like, who cares about who won Gdansk? I mean, if it's not Vegas.
Yeah,
Um.
that's true.
I
Oh
don't know.
boy.
This seems like a pretty stacked regional. I'm looking at this top 16. And this is there's a lot of good players in here.
And
But
who did you beat on the way? Let's see. Um. Wait, you played. I feel like I recognize some of these names immediately.
yeah. Those are two difficult first two rounds, just right off the bat.
Yeah,
Um.
I asked my first round. I'm gonna be honest. I had
Nice. Go ahead.
to win game 3. I had to double hit Blizzard. I guess technically 3 hits on with Blizzard in rain, and I had to dodge Muddy Water, and I did all of that. Yeah, if only one thing of this didn't happen, I would have lost.
That's
Uh,
awesome. I mean, that is just how it goes
Ninetales,
sometimes. Go ahead.
Ninetales is truly a beautiful Pokemon.
It's the new Dire Claw, as people have
Yeah,
been complaining so much about it. Did you get
yeah,
any freezes?
of course. My round 7, I think.
You lost that
Uh,
one.
no, sorry, my round 8. Sorry. I was getting my ass kicked by Danilo, and I randomly got a freeze on his Porygon that didn't allow him to set Trick Room. That gave me time to click a bunch of Quiver Dance with Volcarona, and I won off of that. If I
Mm,
didn't get that freeze at that time, I would have lost that. I would have lost that set, and I would
hmm
have had a different schedule. I would have had more pressure on me because I would have been next to.
hmm
So if Ninetales didn't spray her white magic, somebody else might have won the regional.
Oh man, that's and then you guys didn't play on stream, right? Was it just a
No,
regular?
no, we
Okay,
didn't. It was just because
okay,
technically we were both locked for Top Cut. I got
right.
too odd.
Oh, okay. The reason I ask is I put this together and I was like, I just very shittily, put two different stream images together. It looks seamless. Excellent job, Alex. But I was like, wait, did you guys actually just play on stream? And I could have just grabbed that. That would have been so stupid. Fede, do you have any match from your run that stands out that you'd like to talk about?
Okay, I lost my connection for a second. Were you asking something about my run?
Yeah. Actually, you're back just in time. No worries. You didn't miss much. I was just asking, yeah, was there one match from your run that stood out?
Uh, I would say like there have been a couple ones. The top 8 one has been. I was just rewatching my stream sets today during my stream review, and I ended up being really disappointed on how I played my game 1 in top 8. even if it was mostly on mind games, but I lost all of them. And then in game 2, I ended up getting turn 1 direct close sleep, turn 2 missing an 81% KO. So and I said 81 even if I tweeted 93 because after I discovered about narrate spread, and he had a couple higher IVs in physical defense on this King
Right,
Gambit.
right.
So it was not 93%, it was 81%. Still a very high chance to kill. So game 1 I lost all the mind games, and game 2 I just didn't play because of that. So it felt really bad to lose the tournament that way.
Mm-hmm.
Then pretty much I've been this run has been consistent because in any set I won, I always won 2-0. I only lost one game in a set I won, and that was pretty consistent. I've not been I have been lucky sometimes, but I will say my sleep powder rate has not even been incredibly high. I've never connected a single sleep powder until round 6, because basically I only brought jump left in one game in the stream set against Adrian in day 1,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that
Mm-hmm.
sleep powder went on a in DD safety goggles in DD's Witchen, so did not really do anything. And
Mm-hmm.
then against Joan Garcia, I missed 4 sleep powder out of 6 I pressed. In But I mean any actually maybe it was more both more missed and more connected, I guess. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I just remember in game 1 I had a situation where I connected the first sleep powder into his Dondozo and got 3 sleep turns, but then after it woke up I missed 3 sleep powder in a row into this Dondozo. But meanwhile I was missing the 3 sleep powder, he missed also his 3 features, so it was pretty balanced. And I
That
will
makes sense to
say
me.
um, I will say overall, I've been proud about how I managed the sleep powders during the tournament. Of course, I've been I will not say too lucky, but just not unlucky by connecting them when I 100% needed to do it, because I haven't lost a game because of a sleep powder miss in the whole tournament. But I will say I maybe I've been lucky by facing not too much matchups that required me to spam it. Um, but I will say I used it perfectly. I will say I never pressed a sleep powder that was not needed to press, and I almost never brought jump left where it was not needed to do. Which is why I think this team is really skill based, because you
Mm-hmm.
said it's evil before, but I kind of disagree, because I feel um, it requires a lot of skill to play around all of this percent without just throwing your run because of missing up too much moves. Because if you don't play this team at the absolute best, you're gonna end up pressing a lot of sleep powders that are not optimal, or just if you don't any single turn not played in the most optimal way with this team are incredibly higher chances to lose because you're missing something, which I think is the hard part of playing this team.
Now,
And
I'm gonna say I completely agree with you, and I'm still gonna stand by what I said, because that just because there's a right way to play this team to win more often doesn't mean that the copycats that are running this team on ladder aren't leading jump left every game and clicking sleep powder turn
yeah,
one.
that's absolutely true. That's
Yeah, I think
Now, go ahead, Sammy.
those people are gonna lose games because they're gonna miss sleep powders, but it's not gonna be against you, you know.
No, it's never going to be against you. It's going to be like they've hit 6 in a row. What am I supposed to do if they hit 6 in a row and it's all 3 turns? No, I never like to. I always actually clown on the people that are like, I'm the unluckiest VGC player I know. I'm like, just shut up, please. But yeah, I think that your mindset about it, Fede, was really cool to hear. Not only that you're not one of those players that's like beating yourself up over like getting lucky when you didn't, or like when you would have liked to have hit a sleep powder, but also just realizing that a lot of these situations are avoidable entirely, and that you should just like you shouldn't be relying on it as often as maybe other players would, when you could just find cleaner lines that might win all the time instead of 75% or 50% or whatever you want to call it. 51%, my
And
bad.
on that topic, I was rewatching some of my stream games today. And I also, I think I got more lucky. Rather, I think I got luckier this tournament more than I got unlucky. But my hit wave hit rate on stream was so bad. Um, because I've been spamming that move, I'm not gonna lie. I've been even if I can click Terra Blast, I click Heat Wave because I don't want to think. I didn't want to think what if I just hit one target, what's going to happen? Can I afford to click Terra Blast versus Heatwave this turn? I didn't want to think all of that. I just thought I'm gonna click Heatwave and I'm going to hit. And that costed me some games. Going for Terra Blast when I should have gone for Heatwave, but maybe I wouldn't have hit. So who knows? Also, looking back on stream, I don't think I've played well. But I'm just gonna say that I did the plays I did to rage bait Michael that he
That's
wasn't.
fine.
Yes, that's why I've thrown 100% win cons just
Mhm.
to. I actually don't know if he streamed this tournament.
What was the? You played
He did
something
like a
stupid
finals
on stream.
watch together, but only it. I he didn't stream the rest of the tournament.
Sammy, what was your stream
Oh,
game? You played against something really dumb. I thought there was a dumb one. Did you play?
uh,
Wait, am I
I
thinking
played
of a different?
versus the Blaziken team on stream in top 8. My first
Oh, it was
stream
the
was in top
Blaziken.
8.
Oh, that game won. That game won. That like it felt like it just slipped away. It was crazy. Um,
Yeah, because if that end game was his 20% Blaziken into my
right,
Ninetales at full and Volcarona that's in the range of Heatwave. And if I just click Protect and Disable, I win because then the next turn I can't double KO me because he only
right.
has Aura Sphere. But I didn't think of that for some reason. I just thought I'm gonna click Protect and Blizzard because surely Blaziken dies at this range from
Right, that
single
was so
target Blizzard.
sad.
So in the off chance that it doesn't, I'm just gonna click Protect and Blizzard. So he has to click Heatwave. I guess that's also not technically true, but in my head, I felt like he had to hit more heatwave target that way. Um, I don't know why I didn't click after I locked in the move. I thought I'm the worst player alive and I deserve to lose this game. And after Blizzard didn't KO, I truly felt like the worst player. I ran the calc because the Play Pokemon account posted the clip of me getting walled and swept by Blaziken, which is an insane sentence to say. And the roll was slightly in my favor to KO because I had um, Blaziken would have lived would have lived 7 rolls out of 6. No, sorry.
Oh, okay. So very,
If
very barely got it in
Yeah,
your favor.
it was just slightly over 50% chance of him leaving that blizzard
Got it. Got
Yeah,
it. That
because
a funny story about that role because like we were watching the match live, and of course we were running the calc all together in a group. And before running the calc, I was like, it's impossible that this thing doesn't KO because it was even single target. I didn't
it
think Ninetales
was.
was that.
We're talking
And
about
but
Ninetales here. It's got an 81 special
yeah,
attack
yeah.
stat or
And
whatever.
I would have made the same mistake because what I was saying there, I was like doing the worst overthinking ever. I was like, he has to go protect Blizzard if it kills because if you go protect to disable, you lose to it wave burn on 90th and then Howard Fear crit into Volcarona. And if Blizzard KOs, you cover that option, but it
yeah,
doesn't
but
KO.
I in that game I'll let you know that I've missed like I think 3 heat waves. So whatever you said, crits, bursts, wouldn't have happened.
You already got too unlucky. It's that's how it works.
Yes.
That's exactly how it works. Um, All right, so let's actually just make sure that we didn't miss any other cool teams. I mean, the Blaziken team did end up
Yeah.
making it to top 8. This is actually, I think, a very near version of this. I think it was Specs Prim won a Victory Road tournament a couple weeks back. So
The same
I
player
think it was the same
actually.
guy.
same player. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, same Lucas. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sticking with it,
Yeah,
making that
and
team look strong.
I think
Go ahead, Avi.
he's cut a couple other Victory Road tours as well. I think like he's been really grinding this team and doing very well in grassroots tours. So no surprise to see him in top 8.
Let's see here. The Dozo team honestly just continues to do well. This is like, I guess, the new face of Don Dozo is this 2-2-2 team, and it's out there, by the way. Like I think Jay, who got top 4 with it in Lille, did just like tweet out his paste. So if you're I don't think it had bright powder on the original version. I think it was just safety goggles,
I
but
think it was
Yeah, I
nice,
did.
yeah.
Salvatore just made the team even more evil with this
right?
change.
Why? But
He
yeah.
also made a single change, which I think it's more optimal. It just makes the team better, which is final gambit on the annihilate.
Instead of protect, maybe?
And yeah, instead of protect. And like,
Yeah, I think
because
had
I
protect.
remember talking with Marco about his matchup in top 4 about that, where he thought he had a bad matchup, but he ended up winning in a kind of convincing way. But what I told him after the match was like, if they had final gambit on the annihilate, the matchup would have been shit. And he was like, yes, you're right. So I think in general, like, the Dondozo is just based on making offensive trades, and once you like both Dondozo and Archaldon are just based on after you remove the biggest threat from the opponent team, they are just winning the game alone because the opponent has no answers anymore. So like Final Gambit fits perfectly what these 2 months need.
I agree. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, just really evil with how many options this team has. The craziest one to me that's kind of cool is just like against Dragonites with Haze, whether they're running it or not. Like Pelipper could just U-turn off of the Dragonite into Tatsugiri, breaking the multi-scale, and then order up kills. Or if you think they're going to Terra Fairy, Wave Crash will just kill in the rain. Like that's just so evil. You can also do that against a number of other like Sash Pokemon or something like that. Just break the Sash and KO them with Dondozo. It's crazy.
Yeah, Weavile is also pretty cool with Dondozo. I guess Weavile in general is a pretty cool Pokemon because Triple Axel KOs, I think, every Sash Pokemon in this format, plus Dragonite.
Yeah, you have to
Right.
connect enough hits, but like 3 hits, it's 81%, so it's a decent deal.
Just hit, bro.
Just hit. Like you just click Heat
I
Wave
mean,
and you just hit, or you don't.
yeah. I think Dragonite dies into. You don't
Yeah,
need
Dragonite
free
dies.
unlimited. And also probably Kilowattrel, if I had to guess, dies into.
Absolutely.
Kilowattrel probably dies in 2 if it Terras. I'm kidding.
MD
all
pointing
right.
out it is 73% to hit 3, not 81. So you are,
Oh,
odds
81
aren't
is the
great.
to get 2, right?
Yeah, just the
Hit
2.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's see. Anything else stand
But
out?
I wanna shout out the Robert Brewers team. I think that team is cool. We brought back the Executor. Haven't seen that in a little bit, but this guy doing well is one of my favorite parts of Reg H. So I'm glad that people are experimenting with it again.
I also played against an Executor and the Kanto 90s on stream on round
it was
3.
a different. I was like, is this the one you played? It's a different Executor. Never mind.
It's a different team. Also, this guy made day 2. I think he went 8-3 or 7-4. But
7-4, yeah.
I think it was 7-4. I was checking today the standings because when I was watching your stream today, Fede, I saw you played versus this Executor guy, and I think it was the same that my girlfriend played. So I wanted to confirm that. My girlfriend had a cool team. She had an Espion.
Oh yes, right. I think I saw. It was actually like a normal-ish team besides Espeon. Normal-ish, I guess. Yeah, rain stuff.
It's Rain, Psy Spam, and Every rain Pokemon doesn't have the rain set.
Yes, yes, the power of sturdy, the scarf adaptability. That's fun. Let's see, the Lucas team. Yeah, it seems to be a newer version of what there was a group. I don't know what the name of all the players. Davide Carrere, Roberto Parente, I think, were running that team. Then I had like a Assault Vest King Gambit and a Rock Arcanine, and I think a Hydreigon instead of some of these Pokemon. But yeah, still just kind of
Yep.
like a new version of Evil Psy Spam, but with Espathra. I mean, Espathra was on that old version, but still sticking around. Speed Boost is just a really cool ability. I mean, multiple Speed
Yeah,
Boost Pokemon doing well.
Speed Boost is a game working. Sorry, Speed Boost is a game warping ability. Speed Boost is very, very, very good.
Yeah, 100%. I actually remember seeing on Ladder some like high ladder account. I don't think they've gone to tournaments or decided the team was good enough for a tournament, but there was a Grassy Seed Stored Power Espathra team with Calm Mind. And it like
I
completely
think
wiped me and my friend out. What's that, Sammy?
I I think in the regulation H1, I remember this cleanly. I was using King Gambit balance. I got farmed by one dude using, I think it was Grassy Seed Spafra with CM and Third Power.
Yep.
And the Spatra was named This Thing Sucks. And I just looked at that thing called This Thing Sucks for me because I couldn't break it.
No. It's a funny Pokemon. Let's see. We Marco also getting top 16 with his team. Go ahead, Audie.
We got to do Gem Kittle going 8-3, and April Conway doing 8-3. Those are my
Oh
two.
yeah, Jem was on stream, and I gotta say that it was not a very strong representation of the team. Jem did not look like they stood much of a chance, but the team was still really cool, and Jem actually still had a very good record. So, like, that's awesome that making it all the way to 8-3 with Mandibuzz and Chestnut. And I'm sure that maybe that matchup was just difficult, and it probably really popped off in some other ones.
My friend played him for the winner for his winner in Top Cut.
Right, right. Actually, maybe Gem was on stream twice. Was Gem end
I
of day
think
one
only
against
once.
Wanfi? I thought the against Juan at the end of day one. Maybe not though. Getting ready for champions with
yeah, they were
Chestnut. True.
I think they were on stream day one. I think it was against Swampy. That sounds right.
Mhm.
And they kind of got blown out from what I remember. Yeah, I did not. It was not a good performance, but they ended up going, losing the win in it, doing really well. So, yeah, like we, excuse me, like we said, cool to see, especially this Chestnut set is totally out there. Not what I would have expected, and yeah, kind of makes sense, right? I mean,
Does Bulletproof have some applications in this format? I guess you wall Golden Go because you with
With
Terrafire.
Yeah.
Well, Goldie, and then Cover Cloak Body Press is really good into the double fake out teams with Ursaluna. They're really cool with Terra. So that's pretty cool too. So yeah, I can definitely see this being a cool anti-meta choice.
Sludge Bomb, Pollen Puff. What are like the Sludge Bombs in this format, anyways? Amoonguss sometimes.
Glomora.
Yeah, there's like I'm gonna probably type in G here. Do you think Lamar earned points?
I think the main use of Bulletproof is Shadow Ball.
Yes, that's the main one for sure.
It has got Terrafire, so you can defend from Steel and Wall Shadow Ball against Goldengo.
There are some wild teams down here. That's a Gyarados, Citrus Berry Gyarados with Klefki. Oh man, that's definitely like beat up Rage Fist Ape, but the ape is slow enough to but it's Scar. What? Sure.
Looks like Ape too.
Yeah.
So
they put Rockslide in my ball.
They should leave the beat up rock sliding to Terrakion. Like Annihilate, that's a different thing. That's a different thing.
There's a Skeletor that went 8-3. April Conway.
Oh, there it is. Skelly. Terrifier.
Stella
Honestly, the
Doogie.
typing is perfect. We don't need to change it. Why? I mean, I know that it's Fire Ghost, but sure.
Yeah, well, you don't want to get hit by King Gambit, right? If they're mono dark, you have unaware, so you don't really care about them if you Terrifier. So it kind of makes sense.
Sure.
This is just Lucas' theme about
I was
with
gonna say.
different
Yeah.
bad fire type starter Pokemon.
What's funny is that like the Blaziken is Terrifier, but I think it makes a little more sense over there. This Skeleturge is also still just Terrifier. April
This
said
person
that
actually didn't have the Terra Shards. They only they only Terra 2 of their Pokemon.
Yeah. Wait, actually,
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
well,
Hold on. You're
everything
absolutely...
has the default, everything besides the Rillaboom and the Electabuzz, and I think Prim, but
Prim
they
is
all have
technically,
the
yeah.
default,
Prim should be fine.
yeah, well, the default Terra type.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Yeah. Yep.
Also, shout outs to Eric Schrader, who was on the channel for a team report a little while ago with the Sand team. Very cool team. Was feeling himself. Came all the way to Europe just because he wanted to use the team one last ride because he can't make Vegas, and made it to top 32. So shout outs to him. Go watch the team report.
Yeah, when
I think he's the only American in day 2. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there were a bunch of US players in this tournament.
I
was
think Len
surprised
was
because I
there
thought
again.
was Len the only one who stayed for both of the events?
I think
I
so.
don't think
We were
anyone else
talking
did.
about this, Audie, and we thought that like Billy and Marcus might be doing that. Turns out they did not. They just went for Lille and left. With them being 1 week apart, I thought that more players would do as you said. Stay in Europe for a week and yeah. Juan didn't do both, right? Juan Salerno.
I don't think so.
Okay. We actually asked Juan to be on, but he said he's doing a trip in Europe right now, and so I was like, wait, maybe he did both. Juan did do both. Oh, okay. 5-3 in Lille. So yeah, it was actually for a whole extended trip. That is the way to do it. I feel like. I mean, with back-to-back tournaments, that's pretty cool. I remember people doing that in the U.S. when we had Milwaukee a week before NAIC, right? I think that was like 2022 or something. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for Gdansk. I want to make sure we have enough time to talk about Reg F before we wrap up here. So let's go ahead and move on to the next format. Spoilers, I guess. It's Reg F. So it was announced, well, I guess when was this tweet posted? November 1st, 9:30. Okay, so not quite like immediately after the reset, but they announced that, yeah, Reg F is going to be the format for because we're doing Reg J and Battle Stadium like continuously, right? Like that's just still going. But Reg F will be the format for tournaments, December 1st to March 31st, notably. March 31st being the end date. So not only did we find out the format, but also the duration. And that duration is actually pretty important for a couple of tournaments and making other assumptions about champions and stuff like that. So March 31st, it does mean that it encompasses Seattle. Seattle was actually on the date line. It was a bit of a weird one, but this goes well past that date line, so no questions there. Definitely in Regulation F. And then I guess the first Regulation F tournament in the U.S. is going to be Toronto. What about you guys? You guys have Birmingham a week after,
UIC.
and then of course EUIC.
I might actually attend Toronto and not Birmingham, but yeah.
Oh, really? That's is it just easier to get to?
Not really. I just don't really like. I live in a really small town in Italy, so sometimes and like the best airport in Italy is Milan, which is really far from me. So sometimes I just need to go through multiple hours in trains, either in Italy or when I land to get to places. So like Toronto will not be that much farther than Birmingham. And also will not be that much more expensive, but the place is way better, and I would like to visit. So it will be fun. And then maybe I could also do this back to back, but maybe it's too hard both physically and mentally.
No, that would be brutal, especially with them being.
He thinks, he thinks NA is free. Doesn't want to play in European regionals.
I mean,
Didn't
to be
want to
fair,
say, but
Marco made it
also.
look pretty free. He came over here and got all the way to second in Toronto last year, so pretty tough. Um, Birmingham sucks, is what MDB says in the chat. I don't know, maybe US over UK in terms of travel destinations, sure. Or no, well, not US, that's Canada. But NA.
I mean, also in terms of tournament results, when I play the international in London, I go 5-3. When I play the one in North America, I win. So it's definitely easier to play.
Dang, NA
Yeah,
tournaments are easy.
we have data to back it up finally.
Oh wait, Avi, you're probably gonna use a Sanvi quote for the thumbnail, but NA tournaments are easier. Would be a fire one from Fede for the thumbnail.
That would be pretty good.
Anyways, Houston is going to be the first one of whatever's after Reg F. I've actually already heard people dooming, whatever you want to call it, theorying that we might not even be
Houston is
playing.
Reg F, right?
Orlando is
Oh,
the first,
sorry,
I
wait.
think.
Orlando. I meant to say Orlando. My bad. You're right. Houston is at the end. So Orlando is going to be the first of what's ever next. And yeah, I've heard people saying like they think it might just be still Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, I don't know. Some people are fearing the worst. We did get confirmation at Worlds, not that they really like they could go back on it if the game was just forever delayed. But we got confirmation at Worlds that we would be playing champions at the next World Championships. So there's what I mean, what if there's we played a first format at Worlds in 2024, Regulation D. What imagine champions being just Worlds the first, like that's the first tournament of it. It would be wild, but yeah, I the problem is people are going to continue dooming until we actually get information about champions. We still just don't have anything about a release date. But yeah, let's get back to talking about Regulation F, another rerun format. Who's excited? Who's so excited?
I don't think I saw one single person on Twitter be happy about this format.
Yeah, I don't really get how this format won the poll, because like after then of course people like to complain about the formats. I'm one of the people that like to complain about the format, just for the
Yeah.
context. But in general, I feel like it's crazy that Reg F had like 40% votes, but then after it was announced, everyone was like, regulation failure, regulation.
Yeah, but that's because the negative people are always the loudest. You don't read people saying, "Oh yeah, Regulation F. I love clicking Calmine with Raging Bolt and see the end of the turns taking forever because
I
you have
think
to sit."
in that context, the positive ones will be louder, because I think it will be really easy to rage bait the whole community and farm interactions by tweeting exactly what you just said. Like I like to press Calmine with Raging Bolt. It's so funny, best metagame ever.
Yes, right. I do think part of it is that, like, part of me wonders is that, like, you know, this poll was just on Twitter, and the people that, you know, are on Twitter aren't necessarily all the ones going to tournaments or stuff like that, and they might not be, you know, posting anything at all. They might just be the completely silent majority of just people who are
Yeah,
just like, I want to play Regulation F because it allows, you know, Okidogi or something. You know, like, I miss my boy Okidogi. I want to run him in tournaments, and that Regulation F is the best chance he's gonna have. So yeah, it is. I'm definitely bummed. I was hoping for C very heavily. But this is what we got.
see, would have
Yeah.
been weird. Sorry.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Sandy.
yeah, go ahead.
Sandy, go ahead, and then on to you.
Okay. I think running Regulation C would have been weird because what do you do with DLC moves? For example, Scale Shot Dragonite that wasn't legal in the first
Right.
round. I guess the only round of Regulation C. Like, what would you ban
People were
it?
theorying
Would
that it was going to
you?
be like a Reg C plus, and that like because they're not gonna
Yeah.
try to balance, like they're not gonna say like don't teach your Dragonite Scale Shot. That would be really weird, and everyone would have to remember learn sets that were like no longer like
Yeah,
I don't know, in the game you can just still teach these Pokemon these moves, and you're just supposed to say don't. So I think it would have been like Reg C with new movesets, which technically makes it almost a new format. Almost. Like, And so that would have been really cool. Adi, what were you gonna say though?
Yeah, I just think like logistically it's such a pain for them to do, right? Because they have to figure out that they have to figure out like yeah, when we they it doesn't seem like something they would do when the Reg F and Reg I options were right there. And I don't know why they included it in the poll if they weren't going to do it, because I'm pretty sure it won the poll, didn't it? Uh but or at least it was winning the poll at one point. I do think that it's worth pointing out that yeah, people on Twitter are not people who actually compete. There's not like there actually aren't that many people who go to many tournaments. A lot of people go to one tournament a year at most. A lot of people who voted, like I'm sure probably half the people who voted are not going to go to a Regulation F tournament when they're out there. And I could pretty consistently feel that way about things. Like when everyone was talking about how we need to make it like easier to make it to day 2 or like or X2 cut, and it was like, no, this is a bad idea, and you guys don't realize why this is a bad idea, but it's a bad idea. Yeah, I just think that people who played Reg F and like are invested and have to do this on a like are going to multiple Regulation F tournaments, like me, sadly. I don't know. I think people were like everyone we talked to is like, this is an awful idea. But yeah, I just think people voted for it, maybe not fully knowing, just because they followed the Play Pokemon account. Play Pokemon account, notably TCG people, Pokemon Go people, right? Like people just see it. There. So I don't know. I really think that I don't know. I just don't understand the thought process to go back to Regulation F, but I understand that Regulation C might have been hard to pull off, and I do prefer Regulation F to Regulation I.
That seems a little bit to be what Bruno's saying in the chat here, saying like they'd have to like maybe the rule sets don't accommodate F or sorry C, because like they just they wanted it to be so that when you pick the rule set in game it specifies for single restricted or two restricteds or no restricteds, but Regulation C was all the legal Pokemon at the time, and Regulation F is all the legal Pokemon at the time, but they're not gonna like those Pokemon aren't getting removed from the game. We're just changing the legal guy. Well, I guess no, that doesn't work because Regulation H is that. Never mind. I don't know why. Yeah, Regulation H is just rule set 1. No, never mind. Never mind.
yeah, but
Anyway,
with Regulation H, you can, I think, you can ban category of Pokemons. You can ban Pokemons that are legendary and paradoxes. And for example, in the Regulation H, in Regulation C, sorry, for example, Ninetales wouldn't be illegal, and that's not
right.
a paradox, neither legendary.
Yeah. They'd have to ban it based on like dexes. And I'm not sure if the Pokemon are in categories like that. And like sometimes there was like Pokemon like you could like catch a Pokemon in the main game in the Kitakami dex, for example. And so
Yeah, I
yeah.
guess I guess they could do it just the Paldea Pokédex. Um, but
But yeah, this is just a bunch of
the-
theorying about something that's not going to happen.
yeah,
We're playing Reg F, and
Mhm.
yeah, I know that we kind of already heard your thoughts, but yeah, Fede, like, are you excited for Reg F or not? Which one were you preferring?
So I'm not excited at all. Like Reg F was the worst period of my competitive career. Like I played 3 major tournaments in Reg F, and I did terrible in all of them. I would honestly say it's not the format fault. I like a lot of people that are closer to me that remember well about how bad I was doing that period. Asked me what I thought about Reg F coming back, and what I said is just that when I was doing bad in this period, it was probably due to not being like probably would have sucked in any format in that period. So I will not say I sucked because of the format, but I dislike the format regardless. Like I don't really like all the Calmine Raging Ball stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't like that despite there is some few things like the Calmine Raging Ball that are just dominating the format and keeping the usage centralized around these strats, the metagame is still very volatile. Like if you pick up the teams from UIC 24 and you look at the teams from the whole top 32, there is not too much teams that are repeated. There is an insane variety between the teams, which is something that I don't really like because it just creates matchup fishing, because it just makes more likely to face a completely random team that you have a bad matchup against. Like, just a random example, in top 16 you have Side Spam Regidrago, you have each run Zapdos, Iron Bundle. Like, this team really looks like random Pokemon. You have Iron Ball, Chiyu, Artricrum. You have Cresselia with Rain, and this is all in the top 16 of the tournament that at the time was the biggest event of all time, and basically none of this team existed. So it's I think it's too much different things, and despite having something that should be ruling the metagame, it actually does not, because it is based on pressing Calm Mind. So Calm Mind is just a bad move.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like
what?
actually that
Go
was
ahead,
that was
Avi.
very similar to my conclusions going back through Regulation F once it was announced and looking through. I was surprised at how diverse it was because we were just complaining about how dominated it was by that one team, the Inton, Rilla, Urshi, Bolt, Combine Bolt team that was just, it felt like it was everywhere. But yeah, it was very diverse. I think the problem is that there still was a clear best team, and that was that Combine Raging Bolt team, and that team is obnoxious. It'd be one thing if we had this format where the most common team was fun to play against or fair and balanced. This is just like unfun, and the mirrors are especially unfun and especially toxic. And so it just like it really breeds a an unhealthy format. My
Yeah,
hope is that people figure out how to beat this team and it starts to recede from the format because not only is it unfun to play against, but it also literally just holds up tournaments with the mirrors where they go at a time every single game.
Yeah. Sammy, what were you gonna say?
Calm Mind Raging Bolt is socially accepted on those. That's my take.
I think we need
Plays
to make
exa-
it not socially accepted. I think we should name and shame people who use Calm Mind Raging Bolt.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I'm with it. I'm with it. Yeah, it's so so boring. Just there's a lot of yeah, there is actually a bit more variety in the format, but also there's a lot of like variations on these variations. Like you might see one Calm Mind Raging Bolt team that has Chen Pao, another one has like, I don't know,
Yeah,
Amoonguss or
it feels
Ogerpon
like
or
to
something.
to be to build that the like a Calm Mind Raging Bolt. You have your core of four, which is the Raging Bolt and the Firewater Grass guys.
Right.
And then you have a pool of different like 10 to 15-ish Pokemon to pull from. You have Lando, Shenpao, Fluttermane, any Ogerpon, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously Mungus, I guess, is one
Tornadus
of
if you
them.
want it, maybe.
Tornadoes, yeah. I liked using Booster Raging Bolt because Calm Mind was so boring to play, and
Yeah.
also it's one of those Pokemons that can be cheesed fairly easily. For example, Among Us with Terra Fairy clicking Rage Powder, a Calm Mind Raging Bolt is never beating that. For example, or different board states, usually involving Farigiraf plus a fairy type, and the Farigiraf also needs to be Terra Fairy.
Mott does make a decent point in the chat. He says, "Did it actually end up winning any
No,
tournaments?"
no, I think he didn't win
He
any
never
tournament.
won any tournament because he does Calm Mind, so it never
Yeah,
won a tournament.
yeah, the spoken rule of Calm Mind is if you have a Calm Mind, you're not allowed to win a tournament.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, maybe we just like really spread the news on that curse as like just, have fun getting second, and have fun not winning the tournament. You're doomed to never win. But yeah, um, I I'm not excited for this one. And I don't know. Like, I'll mention it just because it's funny. But the format was so different back then. Like, I technically did win a tournament in Regulation F, and I am not remotely excited for this format. But also, when I was playing it back then, the format was nothing like what it looks like at the end, in my opinion.
Yeah, in this point of time, everybody thought Incineroar was bad, and Arcanine was going to be the intimate fire type of the generation.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I still ran a lot of Instant Hate. I got my inner focuses, you know. I got my
Yeah,
double inners.
double in the focus.
I was ready. Um, but yeah. Mon, if you bring CM Bolt to every local, I'm just gonna come to your house because I do know where you live. So I'm sorry, but that you can't bring Calm Mind Bolt to the tournaments without repercussions.
But something I will say in favor of Regulation F is that every rerun of formats we've had, both with Regulation G and Regulation H, the part 2 have been different from part 1.
They have.
So maybe, for example, Rain in Regulation H1 was so dominant, and now it's struggling to get results. For example, maybe it will be the same thing with Calm Mind Raging Bolt.
Yeah, I think that we're also gonna feel a little bit of like at least in the first week or two of like a Reg H effect on the format. For example, like Sneasler was not actually that good in this format, but I feel like people are gonna continue to use Sneasler in this format just because they were like, it's so good in Regulation H. Why are we not still using it? There's a couple of other Pokemon. I was actually going to name Archaludon, but there's actually 3 on screen right here. I don't remember Archaludon doing amazing.
Archaludon, there have been Archaludon believers in the Regulation F for ever since Archaludon was released, and it never did super well because the format has special attackers. For example,
It has Flutter and
Flattermane just
Lando.
yeah.
Yeah, I was one
And
of those Archaludon believers this format, and it was my worst result in any Scarlet Violet regional. I think it was Vancouver. So yeah, no, I that it seems so compelling, but no, I think it's very flawed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And so yeah, that
also
and then like Blood Moon, and honestly Gutsbear too. Gutsbear you can see winning this tournament, but it was kind of a one-off, like both the bears.
yeah,
and you can't
because
even like use your
Go
Terra
ahead,
as
Audie.
effectively because you have Urshifu, right? So you can crit through you can crit through defense boost as well. Obviously not as bad if you're a dragon type, but if you do choose to defensively Terra, that becomes a problem as well. So yeah, Ladorus everywhere, as you can see here as well. Ogerpon can crit through you, depending on what Ogerpon it is. So there's so many different things that make it annoying for Archaludon to do his thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Urshifu just love. I mean, we actually haven't even talked enough about that Pokemon coming back. Who's excited, dude? The thing is, all right, listen. When we were coming back to Reg H, all the Europeans we were talking to said they like Urshifu better than dealing with Sneasler. Is this true? Do you guys agree?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I think Urshifu is a stupid Pokemon. It's a design. It's truly a DLC Pokemon. It's still better to deal with than Sneasler
All
Well,
right,
because
fair
I
enough.
have a very I will not say it's unique, but it's a take that a lot of people would disagree with. Like I would say 99% of the players will disagree on what I think of Urshifu, but
Sure.
I think Urshifu is one of the most skill-based Pokemon ever because it's just like um, it punishes the bad positioning way more than anything else. If you play one turn bad against the opponent with Urshifu, you're just gonna lose because you cannot protect, you cannot just adjust your mistakes. You're just gonna get your whole team swept. And this is why I like broken Pokemon. It's just like, of course, it's dumb having a Pokemon that just breaks, protect, and just that broken. But I just
Mm-hmm.
think it's better to have something that is just based on if you position it well, you win. If you position bad against it, you lose. Than having something like Sneasler, which has a as I mentioned before, like I said, word is healing for the Dire Claw usage. So I don't mind Sneasler if it doesn't have Dire Claw, but
Right,
Sneasler
right.
with Dire Claw it's just the most like it's not skill. It's just pure randomic stuff using Dire Claw Sneasler. So um, I will rather play with against the acrobatics neither than against Rushifu probably. But I would always rather play against Rushifu than Dire Claws neither. 100%.
It won in Brazil. Okay, was that the very last one? Call Mine Bolt?
Mhm.
No. Oh wait, no. I guess.
Going on
Oh,
is that
okay.
it?
This.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Okay, so it did have one win.
No, here's the thing. I think that Urshifu, when you're playing with it, is quite skill based for sure. I just think that it also leads to the least interesting team building. And every format that has Urshifu in it, especially formats that don't have restricted to have Urshifu in it, just lead to really, really boring team building. Because so maybe this isn't entirely Urshifu's fault. I think Urshifu gets a lot of the blame because Incineroar and Rillaboom came out first. But the fact that you can put Incineroar and either Rillaboom or Amoonguss and Urshifu on a team, and it's just the single best defensive core ever made, is absurd. And they're such strong Pokemon, and it becomes the focal point of every single format that they're in. We see it right now in Regulation H that Incineroar is still the focal point of the format, and it's only really like kind of compromised because there isn't a really really good water type that you want to put next to it. And so yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's fine to play in theory sometimes, but it's really really obnoxious to try to team build and try to do anything innovative when it's so impossible to break the double fake out or with plus attacking to protect combination without very very specific tools.
It's funny, I think back in the Sword and Shield days, and I guess maybe the Sun and Moon days a little bit, I was like the person that was like telling casuals like to shut up with your complaints about Incineroar, like, you know, it's just a tool for good teams to use, like get good kind of thing. And I am just so bored of Incineroar now. Like it is just it rises to the top every time basically in such a way that it has gotten stale, and maybe it's extra stale because we're coming up on our third repeat format of Scarlet and Violet. Like that's definitely doesn't help. But yeah, I'm just like, I think Incineroar and I don't know if Rillaboom, one of them, I think it's just Incin has been confirmed for champions already, or like it was shown in like one of the trailers, and I'm just like, can we just have like a little bit of a break? Like we had like the shortest regional decks run ever, I feel, and I would just be nice to get a little bit of that back when we eventually do switch to champions.
Yeah, they should have gave us regulations here.
They
I
really should have.
really hope.
We didn't
I
even
really
get
hope
Worlds
in
for it.
Champions they are willing to rotate Pokemon out, not just
True.
mechanics out. Because that would they can build really interesting metagames where there are like limiting factors and you have to make difficult decisions in team building. And you also still need those staple Pokemon like Incineroar, like the Rillaboom. You just don't need you can't have them work. They can't all be together, right? It's the combination of them that is insufferable. Incineroar is a healthy Pokemon. It's fine that it uses a Pokemon that has Fake Out and Parting Shot and has Intimidate. Like that's okay. It's okay that there's a Pokemon that has a priority Grass Move and Fake Out and U-Turn. That's fine. Individually, when you put them all together, it's a little overpowering. And so my hope is that they do customize formats a little bit more, not just with
Right.
megas, but also with their the choices of Pokemon, and give us that regional decks feel when we don't. Otherwise, they don't otherwise have an incentive to do that.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for because they might give us what was that Sword and Shield meta game where they banned Nippon?
Oh, the
Yeah,
top 10
Series
fan
6.
one.
The greatest format of all time.
I didn't play back then, but I've never heard anyone say something positive about that format. Now that I think about it, I think I've never heard anybody say something positive about any format.
True.
Weird.
True. I liked Reg C. I could
Series
use
6.
Earthworm. He was fun. All right.
I like Reg C because it has broken Pokemon, but not unfair Pokemon. Fluttermane is a broken Pokemon, Urshifu is an unfair one.
Sure. I feel that.
That's where I draw the line.
We are coming up on time here, and especially since it's late for you guys, I don't want to like. I'm having a great time talking with y'all, but I also realize you guys got to get to bed eventually. So before we wrap up here, do you guys have any other Reg F takes that you wanted to fire off that we didn't get around to before we finish up the episode today? Anything else? Any last things?
Not really.
Per- Personally, I'm a little bit happy that Regulation F is coming back because when the Regulation F was the main format, I was very bad at it. Now that I think I'm a better player than I was in 2024, I want to see if I can make better tournament runs than I did. But other than that, I think the format is not that entertaining, both to
Mm-hmm.
play and to watch.
Yeah, taking it as a personal challenge, basically, to just see if you can
Yeah,
do it better the second time around.
same exact thing for me, because as I mentioned before, I was doing terrible in that period. I completely agree with what Sammy just said. Like, it's a good challenge to just do well in a format where it was S in the past, but the format itself is it's awful. It's not fun, honestly.
Oh, so people are saying, or yeah, I think that the January Grand Challenge should be Reg F. That should be what we're playing then, because it kicks off in December. We don't have events in December, but that is when Reg F starts. And of course, this was announced like what, last Saturday. There have been several showdown tournaments and like grassroots things online, whatever. Like those are going to start to kick up or increase as we approach it actually becoming the format. So look out for those. There'll be plenty of opportunities to practice regulation. The ladder is actually already live for that too, as well on Pokemon Showdown. So that's awesome if you want to go practice it and get ready for if you're already done attending Reg H tournaments, then you might as well just move on to what's coming next. Anyways, Sam Fetty, thank you again, and of course, congrats on your finishes. And yeah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and figure out who we're gonna throw the raid over to. I forgot to mention here at the end that if you're here now and you didn't catch the beginning or you prefer to watch this on YouTube, Audie's YouTube channel is CK49. It'll be uploaded there tomorrow. All right, we're sending you guys over to Sableye, to Ryan. So say hi from
playing
us.
some Reg F. He's playing,
go.
bringing back Gouging Fire, one of the coolest Pokemon that saw play in Reg F. So go say hi to him.
All right, y'all have a good one. Peace out, peeps. Later.